Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Pinkfresh Fridays, hosted by Joanne Bartell, where we'll all be using our Pinkfresh to create our layouts. And for today's layout, oh my goodness, can't remember the name of it. Flower Market. That's it. That's it. The green alphas there are from Holiday Magic, I think, or something like that. But everything else is from that collection. And I don't end up using any of the vellum, but I will end up pulling out one of those stickers. I don't use those blue ones, and they are part of the collection. And I use some ephemera and other stuff. And I think 5 frames on here. I love using those frames. Y'all might have noticed. And I'm also going to use that die, and I was looking at the name of it there so I could tell you. And it's leafy branches. I think I've been saying curvy, and it's leafy branches. And there's the collection with all the pretty papers. I am going to layer this, and yeah, I did gut it so that I would be able to use the pieces for something else. And I do have a yellow shirt on in the photo. That's uh, me and my sister-in-law there, and her clothes are black and white. So I pulled from the colors on my clothes. And so I am using some yellow and some blues on here. That paper on the top, it might look on your screen if you have a phone or something, tiny screen, like it's white, but it has little teeny tiny polka dots in there that are gray. I matted the photo in it and in the green that I went around it with on the layout. Oh, I forgot to show, and I'm always forgetting to show it because it's over there on the side. The picture wheel by Tim Holtz, and it's a discontinued die, but I love it. So I do use it on my layouts. Now, I was thinking I would use these frames kind of like, sort of like a trellis. So I'm going to have some flowers going up it. And I wanted to use the colors that would go. So, yeah, I only have 4. It didn't make it all the way up. I am going to use that little tiny one laying on the photo, but I'm going to use it over to the left. And I'm just kind of putting foam tape under the pieces that aren't sitting right and then glue it down other pieces that are going straight flush on the layout. I wanted to straighten that green one, and I do try to straighten the blue one too. But they're going to end up that way because my paper started to tear when I went to pull it up. So I thought, no, I'm going to leave them. I forgot that I had used powder to take the sticky off and use liquid glue. So yeah, it didn't move. I did fussy cut the white off my flowers here, so you will be seeing all them looking skinnier than yours if you happen to have some. But yeah, the white's gone. I am going to use blue ones and yellow ones. I think I have a couple little flowers that have a tiny bit of kind of a pink coral kind of color. And yeah, one that is some little teeny tiny ones that are kind of on the pink side. But I used that one branch and used it as full self, which is something I very rarely do, if ever. But I did use it this time. And then the other 2 I'm going to cut apart. And then I'm going to be looking around for another scrap to use, and there is none. So I'll have to cut one more out. So I will be using 4 of those Pinkfresh leafy branches on the layout. And this branch is one of my favorite leaf dies. It has like a little embossed streak down the middle, and it just makes each leaf look delicate and individual for sure. There was this picnic basket on one of the pages, and I told myself, don't cut it, don't cut it. Leave that page, you can use the other side, don't cut it. But y'all see it on my layout, so yeah, I had to fussy cut it out. I couldn't resist. We spent the day it was sightseeing, but it was here in the area where I live. So we didn't go really super far. And her grandson was with us. I didn't have none of mine that day. And he wanted to use her camera to go take a picture of something he seen in this tree. So he took the camera and he was over there doing it. We were standing there talking. And then when he comes back, we were still talking and weren't really looking up. We had watched him, but we couldn't really tell what he was doing with the camera. So we just kind of quit watching him. And all of a sudden he said, "Smile." And we look up and yeah, we weren't smiling for the photo. And my left hand is moving a little bit, so it's kind of a little bit blur, but I liked the photo. So yeah, I went ahead and used it for my layout. While I was rambling, I was putting flowers and the picnic basket on the layout. I did have to stop my trellis thing and go over to the left because I wanted to make sure I had the right size flowers in the places that they seemed best to go. So I had to make sure I had them on the left hand side and use what was left basically on the right hand side because I already had like the biggest one down there at the bottom and kind of getting smaller going up. I used that Tim Holtz punch up there on the left, and I went to look in my brown cardstock, and there was this one really, really old scrap of cardstock. It's one of those ones that you got like in a paper pad thing that was maybe a project pad or something. Anyway, it was in there, and it was only a piece of it, but I remember it being in some kind of pad. So only one side's printed because it's that old. But yeah, I'm using it and I'm thinking, oh boy, I got this scrap used. I've had it forever. But I am putting them in between here and there just to add a little darker color. Now, Pinkfresh is so bright and crisp looking. I mean, that's my thoughts when I look at it. It's bright, crisp looking, and just plain beautiful, of course. But I like to add a little something every now and then. And so I'm going to go ahead. I considered using white for them, but then I thought the background there right behind them is white with the gray polka dots. I think I want to use a darker color. So yeah, I dug out some brown. It's kind of almost got a grayish tint to it. Charcoal maybe? I don't know. It's not exactly brown, but it worked for my layout. And of course, Kathy's got black on, so yeah, the whole thing worked on there. Um, I think I about got all my little branches put on there. I only see one more over in the tray. Yep, I grabbed it. On here, my camera shut down. So yeah, I just did the transition thing so it wouldn't look like a bump when I turned it back on. Um, oh, I'm putting this there and it's a banner and I I don't remember what it says. We'll see it in the close-ups. And I started to put that one little, uh, oh, well, it kind of reminds me of a mailbox. That's why I wanted to put it there. I started to put that one there. I liked it, but it didn't go with the rest of the layout. It's kind of cream colors and different shades, so it didn't go. So I pulled it off, and I will put something else there. Oh, and I was going to put that banner that I ended up putting on the trellis down there up the top, but I had that scrap just in case I needed it. And I decided to make a banner across there. And I did take that 3D sticker apart. It's chipboard, and then it had white around the words, and I cut them off and put the same paper that's behind the photo on there. And instead of me putting it back where it belonged on that circle, I put it down just a little lower with a flower. I will be adding some greenery and a couple of branches up there too, though. But I really liked the way it looked after I got done. It wasn't covering up all those pretty flowers on the circle. Um, yeah, I think I'm about done with that, and I will be going back to, yeah, there's the mailbox. It is, like I said, I looked at it, I thought, it just really don't go. And then I thought, I'll find something else to go. Well, I found something just like it, but blue. Only the outside edge has kind of a, oh, I'm not sure what that color was. It just, but it wasn't the color I had much on layout anyway. So I cut it off and just had the blue. And I did put it on a piece of scrap cardstock because I wanted to put foam tape behind it, and it was a pretty thin sticker. Not the thinnest sticker I ever had, but it was still a pretty thin sticker. And here's my title is those Christmas ones. And you will see me spell excursion wrong. I'm going backwards on there, and I don't even notice that I left the S out. But in the last photo, you will see an S in my word excursion, but it's summer excursion. I was trying to decide what to make the title, and I couldn't think of nothing at first. And I was literally at the end of the layout and needed to put the title on before I thought of something. I thought, well, I could use one of the words I really like but never use. And shenanigans, is one of them. I really like that word, but I hardly ever think to use it. And I thought, excursion, we were on an excursion that day. So yeah, it's on there. So it's summer excursion, and it will have a S in the middle of it or wherever it goes at the end. But don't it look funny without the S? Yeah, you'd think I would have noticed it a whole lot sooner. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. Make sure you check out all the links down there below to see what everybody else did with their Pink Fresh today. It's always the fourth Friday of the month. And yeah, it's a fun hop and gives you ideas on using your Pinkfresh. And don't that look like a mailbox there? And all covered with flowers and stuff because there's a trellis behind it. Well, you don't have to agree, but yeah, that was my thoughts behind it. And there's my picnic basket. And yes, we had a picnic. We did not have a basket though. We took some snacks, but we ended up picking up McDonald's. Yeah, because there was one right there in the area on the highway. And yeah, we picked it up for our lunch. Oh, and I forgot. I added that little happy when I went to take the picture. So the best of the times and then happy over there all by itself. But I thought it looked cute kind of hanging off to the side. So that's it. That's my layout. I want to thank you all very much for joining me today. And I hope you've got an idea or two maybe you'd like to use on your layouts. But be sure to check out the links down there below and have a happy, scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.